Greetings, everyone. It's a Monday in April 2021. A wonderful day for murder. Oh, yeah, wonderful day for murder. Yup, 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 yup. I've got two games that I've already played. We're going to look at one of them. One of them, I thought it was going to be the upload today until he decided to run out of time for no good reason. 140 moves into the game after getting disconnected 12 times. It's kind of interesting. It seems that like if you're on mobile and you disconnect, your time freezes, which seems to be very, very useful in Byoyomi. Kind of gives you a little bit of like I don't know how that works, but it's interesting. I'm gonna say it's interesting. That's all I'm gonna say. It's interesting. The first game I lost, which we're gonna look at in a minute, where I was ahead throughout the entire thing. AI agrees even. And I had a 98% chance to win it. Unfortunately, I did some derpy things in endgame. Because at that point, my attention was gone and I was bored and we threw it. But it's still worth going over. It's still worth going over. And we're also going to go over a pro game because there is no way I'm playing again tonight. Like, I threw one because I was spacing out an endgame, and the other one was just some jackass who DC'd 12 times in a row and then lost on time for no reason whatsoever. Like, I'm done playing for the day. That's all there is to it. I'm done playing for the day. But yeah, first let's go ahead and look at the Kosumi game that I lost. Cause yeah, why not? Why not? You can. I don't want to see you right now. Bye. Yeah, thank you. Off you go. Off you go. Oh, right. By the way, and speaking of things that you might want to see again, one-stop shop for in-person Go, Baduk.club. Might want to check her out. You've got some players around you. Can hit up now that we're all getting happily vaccinated. And there's a store for gear that's not too terrible. Won't break the bank, as it were. But all right, thanks in part them, as always, for sponsoring my salty videos. So here we were. I was black. Decided to include, and I wasn't sure what else to do. I was happy he didn't 3-3 me and he played here. This was going to be a good game. I was excited. We were here looking at this, and we were going to have an old school game. I approached, he backed off. This I thought was a little bit weird. I think you're supposed to connect here. I wasn't sure entirely what you're supposed to do, so got to push first. He extended. Got to grab my base. Everything's looking fantastic, isn't it? Yes, it is. He enclosed, which means I got a free thing over here. Then I even got to extend. At this point, I come out with the opening ahead. 2019 moves into the game. So, cool. We're ahead. 19 moves into the game because, he's got this, which is, not bad. It is vulnerable to the fact that this is still there, so we can anticipate like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, which would be 20 points plus this. I mean, 15, 35, something like that. Okay. Not bad. Here I played here despite knowing this was the right answer. I played this one because I didn't want him to just like do something silly like play down and then risk just full on dropping dead in the very beginning of the game. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna play here. He can save himself, and it's good. He went into reduction, so we just chilled. If you want to give me Sente when there's a corner to take still, and I got the entire left hand side, he wants 2 stones. Fine. But we did not give him 2 stones. Instead, we decided to attack this, and things proceeded to go better and better. He decided to not play the hot and attack me, which I thought he was going to. He extended, which I was like, all right, sure. I went ahead and responded to him because he only has 4 liberties against my 1, 2, 3, 4 liberties. 4 to 4 seems pretty fair. Not surprised he played the Hane in any way, shape, or form. We went ahead and jumped up. At that point, he has to figure out what he wants to do. I thought he was going to play here, but he did not. Like, this would be a pretty good move to play. I'd have to play here, and then he could play like that one. Then I play this one, and then maybe he plays like this one. And then the game continues, right? Pretty straightforward. He didn't play that. Instead, he plays here. 1 point jump, which means, cool, I get to take the shape point. And he has to extend, and then I get to attack the whatever stones. And from this point, I thought we were going to have either a really nice Murder Monday, or I was just going to take everything on the right-hand side of the board, and that was going to be fun too. Because then he'd probably invade, and then we kill it and be like, yeah, we kill things, woohoo! Sure, he plays the Hane. What did I play? I extended because this doesn't work. He had to defend here. I extended. He extended, I extended, he defended. And then at that point, I had to figure out what are we going to do from here. Like, I think this is the answer that I should have played to begin taking that right-hand side. I played this one instead. This is the one that I actually played. And sure enough, he plays here, he's starting to try to trick me. I did not play this one because it opens up this one, and I don't like it. So I played here instead. To which point, I think he went on the right side. Yes, he went in for a reduction here. This isn't very threatening. And truthfully, I could just pincer this because that's not the end of the world. Instead, we played here. He hunted back. I just connected because we're doing amazing. And then he decides to extend way over to here. Because, you know, he wants me to play this one. That way he's got the Joseki here, which I would never allow. Like, if he plays here now, I'm pincering this, obviously. He's trying to get it, only in a different order. So I was like, you know what? I have the entire right-hand side. The bottom's pretty good. I can extend off it. There's the upper right-hand still. He only has, like, the bottom here and that. You can't really win off that one. So I'm just going to chill and take a few more... Hello? Yeah, I did. Take a few more points. Then we get into this level of variation here. This one, it could have gone better for me. I don't really care, though. And then he approaches. I kicked first. My bad. Then I backed off. Everything seems like it's going fine. He took Sente, played on top. I thought maybe he would play this one, but he didn't. I think because he didn't play it, I should have probably played here first to get that in. But I was like, alright, at this point, the only thing he could do is try to get for the top of the board. Only thing he could try to do is take top of the board. Like, I've got 2 corners and a side. Just make sure he can't take the top when he's still at the same amount of territory at the beginning of the game, right? No problem. So we play it here. And he goes into my corner. He's like, ha ha ha. And I'm like, okay. He decides to live in here. I decide to take this. He connects. And that, in my mind, is game. Now I've got the bottom right, the left, my top is growing, and I've got a group here that I can attack. Everything here seems fine. He does this into, what is it? The jump? Yeah, the probe. Into, I think, this one too. I answer with there and there before defending. Now he's figuring out what he wants to do now. Right? Like, what do you want to do? What do you want to do? He says, I want to jump. We went ahead and poked that to keep Sente. No, we didn't. Wait, what? Oh, right. He countered this one. I was flirting with this idea. The fact that this is still not alive. If he plays here, we can play this one technically. If he has nowhere to go, he only has one eye. I didn't really want to do that, though, because you get this one, this one, this one, and that one. I didn't really see a way to kill it just yet, but apparently he was really freaking out about that possibility. So he's like, I'm taking a whole move here to ensure that you can't throw in there. So I'm like, okay, I get to play here. And weirdly enough, he connected. So I got to probe into here, which really should have been this one. Go after all of his shape. But yeah, we're ahead, so we're just kind of chilling here. And then I think I played this one. Yes. So at this point, Guesstimator, okay, it's doing the dumb thing. Let's see, info. This is not 375, thank you. This is 6.5, I want to say. And now we look at Estimator. Black's up by about 15 points, and it stays this way for the rest of the game. Because where is he going to get 15 points from? Nowhere, right? There's nowhere to get 15 points from. So yeah, I'm up by about 15 points, and it just stays that way. That's why it's really, really annoying. Because, like, all throughout this, we're doing great. We're making points. He's not really making points. He's just reacting to what we're doing the entire time. I get to get the biggie ones in. This is big for him. Don't get it twisted. And fair enough, I kind of regret doing this kind of thing a little bit, but not really. How did he answer this one? Did he do this one? He didn't. Oh, he just extended down. Okay. So yeah, he's alive here. I don't make this exchange yet, but I do very shortly. I play here to see what he's going to do. He connects, which is pretty big, don't get me wrong. I go ahead and Atari. And then whoops, hello. I connect because, or I clamp because he only has one eye right now. He drops down. This was my mistake. I Atari here. He does respond. And then there, voila. He only has one eye. So we're doing fantastic. We're doing fantastic. Couldn't be doing better. Except that's not how it went. I played here first. Got it. And then we played here. And then there. And then there. Got it. He's going for the middle. My first mistake here, I should just play this one. And get him to do this kind of thing. If I do this, there's no way he wins. Ever. Not even in endgame can he win. Because at this point, I'm up by almost 30 points. He'll get this. It'll come down to about 20. But I don't. I'm like, you know what? Maybe we can kill it. Let's have some fun. Maybe we can kill this. So I poke half-heartedly. I'm going after this. I'm trying to kill. Realize he can't, but notice the middle that we had here is now gone. Because I just destroyed that all by myself. So you can see the mistakes I'm starting to make and why I wound up losing eventually. That said, even here, I'm at 98% chance to win. But I do a few dumb things. One, I'm not calling him out on the fact that he has not, you know, played over in here to defend this. Because this is just Ko. Right? This is just Ko. And we can find Ko threats all day. It's not the end of the world, though. Like, this here, for example, is a Ko threat. This is not, because he's welcome to take these, so, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Because all we're going to do is just keep harassing that. Right? So it's hard for him to really find a threat here, so we can just keep doing whatever we want. Like, if the board went this way, we're still up by a good 20. You know? But we didn't go for the Ko. I'm just like, you know what? I'm ahead. Let's just close out the game. And suddenly he's getting endgame and more endgame until I lose by like a point or whatever. So I was too soft here. I was too soft here. That should not have been worth any points whatsoever. Look, you can see here, this should be worth nothing. And it wound up being worth like 10 points or whatever, which was pretty cringe. Pretty cringe indeed. I should have, at the very least, gone ahead and played here first. And forced him to connect. And then play this. Because if he plays this now, we literally just kill him, I think. Like, take his eye point, and then just have that be the end of him or whatever. But okay, whatever. I screwed up, and he lived. Congratulations, and he won. I lost out in endgame because I don't know. I was bored. What do you want from me? What do you want from me? I was bored. I was bored. Okay, there. Happy. I said it. I'm working on that flaw. I'm working on that flaw. I really am. But okay, let's save this and look at a pro game that features some lovely little life and death. So this game is YKPCX Human Tendon as white. This game was actually very interesting because it features a really simple opening, enclosures with extensions, right? We're not seeing 3 3s. Okay, interesting. This makes sense. This little pincer here. Because if we play something like this one, you run into the possibility of, one, your opponent like getting like really complicated on you by, you know, counter pincers, and there's a whole range of weird stuff. So cool. Dealing with the stone, this one too. A little bit more Japanesey. I don't see this a lot by Koreans and Chinese players. But cool. Black goes into the 3-3, because that's pretty straightforward. Simple Chiseki is pretty simple. Complete with this one. Very important that you don't forget to play this stone. If you forget to play the stone, you're in a lot of trouble, because if you play elsewhere, literally that's going to ruin your whole game. Because what do you do now? What do you do? Do you connect? This ain't connected to this anymore, and this is bad shape. How about this one? How about this one? This is disconnected still. Still bad shape. Like, you kill at one point? Like, you can see everything here is just turning into sad face. So, no. Not playing this way. No way. No way. No way. Calm game taking territory. I'm digging it. You don't see these kind of calm games very often. I like it. I like it. I like it. I like it. This is the kind of game where you want to take your time and really think to yourself, where is the next big move, and have it just be like sort of like a life and death problem set of direction of play. Unfortunately, I've already looked at the game a couple of times, so I know the answer, so I can't do that. I'd be cheating. But you can. You can like pause the video from here for this few moves and see if you can figure out where white's going to play next, you know? So white plays here. One of the reasons is very simple. If we imagine this, we see a growth on the upper right-hand corner and a threat to invade here, which was probably going to be Sente. But that also is a threat to continue growing, so it's kind of awkward, you know? So, okay. Huge move. Also, it opens up invasions of the corner. So this is really, really big. It's got corner potential. It takes away a big point from black. Helps out the stone. A lot of good dealios. Hane here is just Aji. There are large points available still. You can play the bottom, the right, things like that. Here we're seeing how white responds. White responds by simply backing off. Okay. So he plays a big move. If white responded by this, or hello, this one, then you have a different set of answers for follow-up. Like, oh, well, that's interesting. that means I get to play maybe something like this later on and cut that stone off. So it might change the way we want to completely play this game. So it's good to get that the kind of like answer in. So instead, black gets the extension. Big, because it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 lines, compared to like over here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. White counter invades. You can reduce me, I'll reduce you. This is the first thing that really starts putting the game in a little bit more of an aggressive mindset. Because we could just be like, all right, I'm going to play here, and, you know, you're going to play here, and then I'm going to play here, and you're going to play here, and, like, we kind of, like, little poke each other, and poke, and poke, and poke. But here, no, this is starting to start swinging. It's like, black's going after white, and white counters by going back after him. Defend, all right, time to skedaddle. Notice this move here is interesting, and black is not taking it. He's inviting this kind of thing because there's no good way of killing off this one stone. Like, the ladder doesn't work, right? So how would this happen? How would this work? This way? Looks kind of sus, right? White's going to develop in the middle because all these stones are getting stronger, and the cutting stone is not. So white can identify he's strong in middle. Ladder on the push and cut doesn't work. I can go ahead and threaten to run with a small knight because my opponent dare not cut me. That right there is really good. Like, it's being able to identify the board is good for me. Therefore, I can welcome a fight. If there were black stones over here or like over in here in the middle somewhere, we probably wouldn't do that. But there aren't, so we can. Which is why black also doesn't do that. But now that there are, we don't want this to start happening, right? Because suddenly this stone's outnumbered. So we have a defensive measure. So at first blush, some of the DDKs, you might get lost on this one until you understand weak and strong areas. And then like, oh, okay, yeah, he invited that because nothing's around for black. And more stones in the middle for white is probably a good thing, given, you know, the high stones here and here. And yeah, we can do that. And then, okay, he's getting onto the middle, so probably don't want that anymore, so we're gonna defend. Cool. Defense again. This is just probe. It means he's got this one later on. That's all that really means. Going after the middle, because again, look at all these center things. Play aggressively. As we can see here, now we can imagine this for huge buildy, right? And this area of the board is going to be the star of today's game. This area will be the star of the show. Because black is noticing white's actively playing for it. So he'll have to do something about it, right? Of course, of course, of course. Defend. Building up. Don't let high head 2 and 3. That is Gote. But what we don't want to have happen is just turn this into like a little teeny tiny area fully enclosed. Because then like after that, you could like play over in here. And suddenly you feel bad. Like, where's white's points? So, alright. Shoulder hit. We respond to shoulder hits. Now we're doing okay. Can resume attacking. You might be like, why would you attack this? Black can just turn here and be fine whenever black wants. True, but if black has to do that, white follows, it gets the middle, right? So we play here. There we go. He says, run for me, you jerk. Because then I'm going to follow and take that center. Got a cutting point. There goes the run. There goes the follow. So you can kind of see how that thought process goes, right? We leaned here because we're trying to build, which means we are going to aggressively cut at the cost, admittedly. We have no clue what's going on with this group. And we do know that we just gave our opponent the ability to kind of like slice in here and attack it again. But it's high risk, high reward. We're invited to kind of counterattack because we could do things in the middle of the board, and we can only do that if we can cut this group off. Is this all making sense? You kind of see how like the logic behind how attacking goes? So, all right. Black says, I know what you're doing here. I can't just be like, okay, I'm just gonna go and play this now. This is fine. Like, no, this is, no, uninstall, get rid of your pro certificate. You don't need it anymore. It's definitely not gonna do you any good. Because this is just stupid. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 points for Jesus Christ. What? Who knows? 10, 11, 12 lines of territory, potentially? Like, in Sente? Like, seriously. Just no. Can't play that way, right? Can't play this way. So he has to obviously cut. So bam, bam, bam. But this is what White wants. So White's like, okay, I'm going to fix. You're being surrounded, sir. I am going to kill you, says Black. It's like, well, you're not. Because you don't want to do this one, right? Because then the counterattack was under your 2 stones. Beware of Puppy Go. Start with play here. Trying to do the surround. Trying to re-attack, not just be passive. Easy defense. Atari. Easy connect. Into a diagonal. That's what he was looking for. That was Gote. So we defend. Again, connecting. Again, connecting. But this is making white. I was gonna say black, and then I tried to say white, and so that just turned into blight. Yes, it just made blight really, really strong. Because now, you know, we've got this, right? That's what we have. Look at that thickness. Isn't it amazing? It's so good when you can see where all the large points are, and you don't lose sight of them. White knew the middle is going to be the most interesting part of this board for him. And not for a single instant is he being distracted into playing something small and stupid. He's keeping his eye on what's the biggest. Black knows. Retreats. Trying to get something done. This doesn't work anymore, right? He can't be like, ha ha ha, because it's just going to be like, ha ha ha, who cares? Who cares? I'm fine, not a problem anymore. Again, not being distracted. That's not Sente. We ain't responding. Probes at the base. Trying to get up all the things. Sente. You could do this one, but that one threatens to cut through. Think about the connections in Sente. Gotta connect there, which means we're gonna counterattack. Bam! Now here's where we probably lost some of y'all, because you're like, what are you doing? You can play here, and now you just lost the 2 stones. Are you stupid? No, because then the other side's dead. And then we can just like keep playing, I don't know, maybe this way? To keep taking that middle, and then we're up by 1 billion points. So, okay, he does not go on the inside, go on the outside. And this deserves to be respected. I would try to kill all of it. He's just like, you could have the right half, I'll have the left half. He's literally attacking for profit. And that profit isn't, I'm going to go all in on a kill in the middle of the board. Like, no. I'll take some. You take some. This is why the man is Tendon. He's not getting greedy. He's not getting greedy. Black's like, okay. Trying to fix. Pokey, pokey, poke. Little bit greed. Honey. Retreat. And this next move is beautiful. This next move is beautiful. Why is it beautiful, you ask? He turns. White's like, you're gonna defend here, I'm gonna kill you. But White is not being distracted. Black does want White to connect here. That way he can turn and get things done. Let's look at that real quick. Imagine this move into this one. Then you're like, okay, I'm gonna play here then. And then this is being a problem, right? And then there's like this one as well. Like there's a lot of really terrible stuff going on here. You know? He's gonna sidestep all of it and cut immediately. Because if Black dares to cut now, ladder that he doesn't want. And then all this is dead. And since this is connected to this, it doesn't matter anymore if this turn's in place. Not losing sight of what's big for a second. So good. So yeah, he cuts, right? Gets the turn in. And White's just like, not that one, sorry. Atari first. Yeah, Atari first, sorry. Tries to jump away. Simply defends. And that's it. Because now is once again the thing. This needs to live, but then again, so does this. Or what's the point? Everything's under attack right now. And Black knows he can't save everything because he has one move. Also, this group isn't even in trouble. It's like literally in one move. Alive. Perfectly alive. So what are you going to do? You can't do anything. So he resigns. So sweet. Nice. Amazing direction of play. Not losing track of what's big. Playing those forcing moves. And yeah, just not getting distracted. Not getting distracted. We can all learn from that. We can all learn from that. Don't say you can't. Anyway, hope you enjoyed this video today. Sorry it wasn't a live game. Yeah. I tried 2 live games. And I'm too tilted for a third. Either way, hope you're enjoying the series. Hope you're enjoying the videos. And as always, I'll see you next time. Take care, buddy.